We have looked at the basic concepts of record and information management, including records retention, disposal, and storage. Now let's look at several key areas that need to be addressed to begin effectively organizing your documents. The standards and practices we'll share with you regarding these key areas apply equally to electronic and hard copy documents. Why is it important to standardize and maintain a folder structure for your files? Pictured is the DC Armory, a facility that the FBI's Identification Division began using during World War II for purposes of clearance needs of the armed services. By 1944, the agency contained some 23 million card records as well as 10 million fingerprint records. A lack of standardized and maintained folder structures and methods of filing would have made this vital work nearly impossible. While digital records can be more easily searched, it is still worthwhile to follow some basic folder structure concepts and rules. The modern world includes not only local drives, but shared drives and many options for virtual or cloud drives. Without a standardized folder structure and basic understanding of what belongs where, files will need to be searched for in multiple places if they are ever to be located at all. A structured folder system that is standardized and maintained will ensure that users can readily retrieve information they need. It will allow users to remove non-record information on a regular basis, thereby reducing risks associated with uncontrolled data storage growth, and it will streamline the file purging process. The process of developing a practical and easily understood folder structure for your office can be an involved process, but with the assistance of the RIMS office, it can be accomplished without undue difficulty. There is no single structure that will work for every unit, but these are some examples of common aspects of folder structures that your unit should consider implementing. As much as possible, units should organize your shared folder structure according to your designated core activities and in line with unique types of work conducted by your unit. In addition, you should incorporate a way to facilitate the regular process for purging files. This means including dates and/or events in folder titles to help with quick determination of disposal eligibility. Much like folder structures, it will be important to find file naming standards that work for your office. Again, RIMS can help guide this process and make the transition to your new file naming standards easier. Establishing file naming standards that are specifically tailored to your unit's business needs will improve access to documents, making sure that the right documents are available at the right time to support the daily business operations of each unit. It will also facilitate more effective collaborative work between employees and ensure that electronic files are easy to locate for records retention purposes. In addition, consistent use of a standardized set of file names will be cost-effective for the university by decreasing the time needed to locate documents when responding to formal requests for information. There are three basic elements of a file name that should ideally be included when naming a file. These include a subject description that indicates the content or purpose of the file, an abbreviation of the unit or project to which the file is related, and the state of the document, whether it is a draft version or in its final state. When possible, it is important to include dates as well. This will make it easier to facilitate regular records disposal without requiring each document to be opened to determine its state of creation. RIMS has created both a folder structure guideline and a file naming guideline document that are available on the Forms and Tools page of our website. The university has a variety of systems and technologies available to help you manage your records and information, including workflow tools and document storage systems. If you're interested in learning more or have specific questions, please feel free to contact the RIMS team. In addition to the help that RIMS can provide, the Business Process Improvement Shared Service Office, or BPI, is another university department that provides support for units, specifically helping with initiatives to improve business processes and workflow in your unit. An important part of managing your records and information is the regular review and purge of materials following the university's guidelines. These guidelines include the state-approved records retention schedules that can be found on the RIMS website. Regularly reviewing and purging the records and non-record materials in your unit reduces the risk to the university. When you retain a smaller amount of sensitive or confidential data, you're reducing the risk that a security breach will damage your unit or the university as a whole. The cost of time spent by your unit to produce requested documents during internal audits or other requests for information can be quite high. If you regularly dispose of eligible documents, the amount of time you spend looking for responsive materials can be greatly reduced, thereby limiting the number of staff hours spent effectively satisfying any and all inquiries. Documenting your practices is another key area that needs to be addressed. This documentation should include clear descriptions of your folder structure and the standards followed in naming files, Include a schedule of when you will be reviewing and purging your record and non-record materials, and if your unit has document workflows in place, include these in the documentation as well. This documentation will allow for regular and effective purging of record and non-record materials and will increase consistency and continuity within the unit.